So our next topic, which is I think what everyone is waiting for, which is it's called DC, Marvel, or Star Wars. Wait, before you guys start, ask me why did I put Star Wars in? Because actually DC Marvel is like two different. Like
The
even though they're
same
comics,
genre.
the same. No, even though they're comics, right? Star Wars is the other alternative that people who don't watch DC or don't read DC or Marvel, they read Star Wars. So that's why I put it in there.
Dang. And here I thought it's because like they released glow in the dark condoms or something.
No, Star Wars has really good comics. Star Wars has really
I
good
agree
comics.
with Kyle.
Yeah.
I haven't read a lot of it, but the snippets of it looks really good.
I just
They're really
read
good
the
comics.
mainstream. So mainstream, I'll be like, meaning that for Star Wars, I will just watch whatever they have, like whatever the series, the clone series or whatever. I don't really go into the reading material. But for DC and Marvel, I do. And for me, the DC movies are really disappointing because I love DC comics. It is sort to be like the ones for adults. The issues and the things that they unfold in DC comics are like much more raw and much more
Agreed.
like dark compared to Marvel. Marvel was always meant to be like a kid friendly stuff. You know, even though they do talk about issues about being human or whatever, like that the humanity side of it, but they don't push it as much as DC, especially Batman. The issues that you have to go through, like in every single expansion, is like mind blowing, man. It's like pushing your humanity to the brink of to the end.
I mean, like for me, I would say I've read the Teen Titans comics, like the DC
Sorry, Thasha, you have to
Titans
speak louder a bit.
Okay. I've read the Teen Titans comic version, and honestly, I prefer the comics over the remakes, like the cartoons
Yeah.
and the
Even the
Yeah.
first one? The first cartoon?
even the first cartoon, because like
Okay.
the emotions that you feel from the Teen Titans comic, it's too raw, you know, especially like when you study like Starfire's history, Blackfire's history, and then like how Robin came to be. Like, it's totally different than the cartoons that you see. Like very different.
Yeah. So like one of my favorite issues for Batman is the death. The one where Jason thought that Jason Todd died, because it raises an issue because he is trying to teach all the Robins to not be like him, to have closure with the deaths or whatever.
Did
But
you play Arkham Knight?
yeah, I do play Arkham Knight. Wait, which one's Arkham Knight again? The new one?
The last one.
The last one, because there's new ones.
There's new ones after Arkham Knight? Really?
Yeah. After Arkham Knight, after Batman dies, it's just the Robins and
He
Batgirl.
didn't die though.
Yeah, he didn't really die lah. But then after
Oh no, but I get what you mean. Yeah, I get what you mean.
The new ones.
I get what you mean.
So
Oh yeah, no, they had a cliffhanger at the end of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I was saying, like when Jason died, he was really in this dilemma that should he be like training Robins, you know, because the reason why he brought on Jason Todd, because the first Robin, Dick Grayson, was a huge success. He became his own man. He became Nightwing, and then he felt proud of Dick Grayson. So when he took in Jason Todd, he thought it would be the same, but it ended up like dying by the hands of Joker. So he was really distraught. So that is like the kind of things that DC are capable of, and what they did in the movies broke my heart. Seriously,
Which movies?
all of it.
All of it?
Yeah.
So-
Really? I thought the Nolan films were
The
good.
Nolan films were fantastic though.
Yeah, the Nolan films are not really canon to the DC universe. It's just like Batman standalone, you know.
They're canon to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with Kyle on this.
Okay, it's good. It's a good movies. They're good movies, but I don't think it will fit if you put it. If you want to put the
No, yeah, I get
Nolan
what you mean,
films
though. I
in
get what you
the
mean, yeah, I
DC
get what you
universe.
It doesn't fit in the whole DC Justice League universe.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Like Bane's origin story is way different.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it lah. I mean, the question is what you guys think of, like, what do you guys think of these three genres? Which one you like most, or Why do you like this kind of things?
What, between DC, Marvel, and Star Wars?
Yes.
Oh.
I know you
Wow.
are, Carl. You'll be Star Wars, right?
Me for sure Star Wars. I think Star Wars.
Carl is part of this. He follows this meme for Star Wars thing, so he posts memes of Star Wars every single day.
Star Wars memes. Like you ask her, I like every single one of those.
I do love it. I like the part where Padme fell down and then Obi-Wan went to Anakin like, remember what I taught you? Said Anakin went down and said like, we have the high ground. And then Obi-Wan was like, yeah, Padme, we have the high ground. I was like, oh my god, Carl, you're a dick.
Yeah. No, I love all this meme stuff about Star Wars.
Yeah, that was
Did you hear? You know the Jar Jar Binks one, right? You know how that Jar Jar Binks is the Sith Lord,
Yeah.
and like the amount of potential that theory has. Because no, think about it. Jar Jar Binks, he's incompetent, but like at the same time he's too competent. If you think about it, he makes it through the whole franchise by luck.
Yeah, like
That was the
sheer
last
dumbass.
trilogy.
Yeah, like, and then there's even an episode in the Clone Wars. I don't know if you've seen this one, where he actually he infiltrates. He finds himself in the middle of the enemy lines or something, and then he finds this cloak, and then he puts on the cloak, and then like he starts talking to them as if he's some authority. Like, I think that was like a nod to that theory, you know.
Yeah, so Carl, what do you like Star Wars? I mean, why do you like Star Wars compared to the other two?
I mean, Star Wars is the classic. It's the classic, man. It's been around forever. So, I know DC stuff and Marvel stuff. They also go back really long. But I think Star Wars for me it does have a special place in my heart because it was really the first real franchise that I got into. You know, like people are not gonna like me for saying this. I got into Star Wars from Episode 1.
Boo!
Yeah, I know.
Your age is showing.
Yeah, what? I mean, yes. I agree. But yeah,
Our age is showing.
Episode 1 in 1999, right? So, and then I always see people shit on the prequels, and then like I kind of get it, but at the same time, 20 years after the prequels, we kind of look back on those not as unfavorably as we used to. If you think about it, because like
because the 7, 8, 9 to shit on now.
nostalgia-
That's why.
Yeah, nostalgia. So that actually begs the question, like, how will those movies be viewed in 10, 20 years by the kids who watch them?
But I often think that the criticism for the prequels, right, are not all warranted. Like some of the criticism was because the Phantom Menace, the first one was Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah.
It took like 40 minutes before the first action. I mean, like, they're telling a story. I mean, what are you going to do? And then they're talking they're talking about CGIs and all that stuff. I mean, like, how are you going to film another world in outer space without using CGI? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
if you
I know
have
Lucas
that
put it off.
technology, why wouldn't you use it?
Yeah. So I don't think like the criticism for the prequels are really that warranted. Some is okay lah, like midi-chlorians. I mean, like,
I like that. I like the idea of midi-chlorians.
Yes, but you have to see it from like the point of view from where like my generation watched it at 4, 5, and 6, right?
Yeah.
And we wait 30 years and then for them to come up with midi-chlorians. That's
why.
And it's like,
What?
No, because like, if you think about it, if Star Wars was a real universe, wouldn't you actually go and study the origin of the Force? Like, where does it come from? And then I'm sure that there would have been scientists who discovered something about the Force that is scientific, not just spiritual. Right? That's how I see it. That's how I see it.
yes, but like a lot of in the Star Wars universe itself, you're talking about how the Force is considered like a religion. Yeah, and like I don't know whether you remember, but like in episode 4, New Hope, one of the generals was actually talking to Vader. It's like, we don't need your sorcery here.
Yeah.
You call it your sad religion, right?
Yeah, your sad
the last
religion.
of your sad religion or something like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, I understand Jasz's point of view. We went to 4, 5, and 6 without the mention of midi-chlorians. Then suddenly, Qui-Gon Jinn comes up with midi-chlorians. I mean, like, why the hell wasn't anybody talking about midi-chlorians?
I mean, we went through 4, 5, 6 without a mention of Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, true. That is also one more
I
thing.
want to ask this because I'm not familiar with the universe I mean, I'm not that familiar with it because I started very late with Star Wars.
Sorry, because
when-
you have to speak a bit louder as well. Sorry.
Sorry, when exactly was the lore really established?
The
Like,
lore really established.
Because when you come, it first came out with like the movies, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Movie was the first thing.
77, yeah. Is it
When
76, 1976, I think. Yeah.
when did novels start coming out? Because I feel like if you want to go into so much detail, it needs to be in writing. Nothing. If it's so complicated, because Star Wars is a big, complicated universe.
Yeah.
Like there's rules, different races, what happens, what characteristics are they, who takes what side, who betrayed who, that sort of thing. So when has the lore really started to establish themselves, and you could have something like create something like a wiki for it?
Oh, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this whole lore thing started with the canon and expanded universe.
Yes, that's absolutely correct.
I think, yeah.
Kind of trashed it at the end, right?
Yeah, I'm not that deep into like. So you guys, Carl and Jasz, take it over.
So like like expanded universe basically talked about what happened to Luke after episode 6,
Yes,
and then
like how Leia did her own Jedi training.
Yeah,
and then we talked about
Jade.
Mara Jade and
Mara
then,
Jade,
like
yeah.
the kids, you know.
yeah, and then Disney came and retconned everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Disney. I'm not really sure what to make of Disney. Hello, yeah, hello. I'm not really sure what to make of Disney, but I don't think that I don't think that those movies were terrible. It's just the flow was not good. That's what I
Garbage
feel.
plot. Everything looks good. Garbage plot.
If you watch the first, if you watch the, this is my opinion, and you are welcome to challenge me on this, but like, I think episode 7, 8, 9, right? 7, 8, 9. Yeah? 7, 8, 9. If you watch 7 and 8, they kind of make sense. And then when you go to episode 9, oh, Palpatine's back. Where?
Ta-da.
Like, you didn't even have I mean, there was a brief mention of Palpatine in the previous movie, but I don't think that counts as foreshadowing.
Oh,
It does appear that the directors had conflicting viewpoints, and they could not get they could not get the whole flow, the whole narrative together. So yeah, that's what I think. I think that's the biggest issue will be with the flow of the narrative.
I think my biggest issue would also be the flow of narrative in the form of the fact that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually focuses on the rise and fall of Darth Vader.
Anakin Skywalker, yeah.
Yes, of Anakin Skywalker from when he was found to his journey as as a Padawan to a Jedi to a Jedi Knight, and all that, and then finding love, and then finding betrayal, etc., and being manipulated into a bunch of things, and then turning into Darth Vader, falling to the dark side, and then having his journey followed through with his progeny into his redemption. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was perfect in that sense. The storyline, how cohesive it was. That was why. That is what drew me in to Star Wars. So 7, 8, 9. It's kind of like they've lost
the guide a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and they also left quite a few unanswered questions. You remember in episode 7 there was that scene with Rey, and then she had that psychedelic trip.
Yes.
There was voices calling to her and all that. Like, we don't know what that meant until now. They don't really explain that. And I always thought, what I thought, and I think that the movies would have been much better if they did this. I thought that she should have been related to Obi-Wan. I think that would have made it a lot better.
Yes, I think so too.
Then it would make sense.
Yeah, because like Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars, you actually can tell that he had a really close relationship with Duchess Satine of Mandalore.
Yeah.
Right? And they had that whole tension thing, and then the fact that Jedis don't allow attachment, and blah 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 blah. They could have had an illicit affair, and he could have had a legitimate child. That sort of thing.
Yeah, so it would link back to the prequels in that sense.
And it would make more sense.
Yeah.
Rather than her being like, a nobody out of nowhere, right?
Palpatine's granddaughter.
Yeah, so anyway, if I were to choose either being a Jedi or or Sith. I would be a Jedi because I would be a Sith because apparently Jedis cannot have sex.
No, that's not that.
No, that's not how.
Oh, okay, they can have sex without emotional thing. I thought you're not allowed emotional.
You're not allowed
attachments.
Attachments meaning you're not allowed to form human bonds and all that. You're supposed to care and love for everybody, everything, because the Force surrounds you. Blah blah blah.
I'll be a Jedi. Yeah.
So like this goes to the question of going a bit into psychology, right? You ever heard this thing about how men have the ability to separate emotion from sex, but women do not?
That is so bullshit.
That is like the in general, it's not like everyone, but so if you can separate emotion from sex, then technically you are still an okay Jedi.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Yeah.
I like how that's marked.
I like how that Bobo has already mentioned that he's got like emotional attachment issues, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. Can you actually separate sex from emotions? That is the question.
Yes. Come to me, Luke.
Yeah.
Use the Force, Luke. Use the Force.
Which also leads to another question: who did Palpatine fuck?
Oh my god! Yeah. That is a good question, though.
Repugnant to me. That
Creepy old man. Like,
there's a theory that Rey's parents were clones. Rey's dad was a clone or something. That's
worse.
Yeah, but do they resolve like where her origins were? Because I missed that part.
No, literally, Kylo Ren says one line: "Your parents were nobody."
That's it?
No, we don't know anything about the parents. Literally, at the end of the movies, we don't know anything about the parents.
Yeah, he literally just says that and he just throws it away, and then like that was the gone.
Yeah, but I thought that could be like a great storyline, like finding her parents or whatever. So apparently they didn't resolve it.
No, like I
the cat doesn't want to be in the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there was that scene where she had that whole trip before she gets the lightsaber. Remember in episode 7?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think
8. I think was it 8?
No, it's 8. I'm not sure.
Lightsaber is 7, I think.
7. No, she gets lightsaber in 7, and then I think she asked Maz something. I think, how did you get this or something like that, right? And then she's like, I'll explain later.
Oh, Maz is
that was never answered. That was never answered. We never heard from Maz again, like until next episode, and she was being chased by something, and then after that, she just goes, like, she disappears. We don't know what happened to her. So like that's why I say, like, it does look like the directors did have some conflicting ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a mess, lah.
It's a little bit messy, quite messy, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, looking at that, right, it's even more amazing of what Marvel did. Imagine like they couldn't keep a single story flow within just 9 movies. Marvel had to handle with 22 movies and a 2-movie ending, And
a very, very healthy like subplots, on the outside, like fantastic. Mostly because Kevin Feige had like real vision, and everybody was given artistic license to do whatever as long as they followed the main storyline. It didn't deviate from that, which was fantastic.
Yes, which is like, if I were to think of like a single expansion in the Marvel comic, like a single expansion will go through like 15 episodes of comics, and like another 17 different subplots outside, before and after. Right, that is what Endgame was. It was like a comic turned into movie. It was brilliantly done.
Yes,
and
but the whole arc, right, from Iron Man 1, right, all the way to Endgame.
Even the small details, like the part where remember at the Endgame when Hope Van Dyne said to Captain America said to Ant-Man that they need to get the van ready, and then Wasp came in, and then she said we're on it, Cap.
Yes, but she in Ant-Man and Wasp, she gave him a lot.
Yeah, he gave him like a lot of shit for calling him Cap. So you're Cap now. He's Cap to you now. So now she calls. So that even that small details was like awesome. Like it was like really well done. So So I
They're
think
doing it on purpose because there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of linkage and they do it on purpose. But yeah, Marvel had like a long, slow plan. They knew it from the start what they wanted and how they did it.
Yeah.
DC did not have that, and even like with the whole Superman, Batman.
Yeah, but then there was the whole, Jack Snyder and all that, the split and
but I think DC, the problem is they're trying to chase Marvel, because you cannot do that. Marvel's already started like 8-9 movies before they started, so they were trying to chase that sensation 8-9 movies in. I think if they sat back, took their time, did their own thing, they could have done as good as Marvel or better,
It's a corporate decision, right? Like
yeah, it's a corporate decision. It was Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
I feel that DC should have stuck with like the TV series because Arrow was doing really well. What was that one? Flash was doing really well. All the movies. All the movies were shit. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It is.
Christopher Nolan's Batman was fantastic, but other than that, yes, but
Suicide Squad is good.
debatable.
What was it?
A lot better than what they usually churn out. Like I sat there, I was like, I'm going to hate this movie, I'm going to laugh at how dumb it is. And then when I sat through with a bunch of friends, we watch online, and then it's like, actually, there's a lot of funny scenes, and a lot of things that you look at, it's like, here's where you put the memes, here's where it's really funny, here's where it actually looks a little bit heartwarming. Instead of like the shit show that was Suicide Squad 1 with that Joker.
Oh, that's Suicide Squad. Okay, no, I had to. Yeah, right. I remember.
Carl doesn't even remember.
What's Suicide Squad?
No, I was thinking like Suicide Squad, which is then the moment you said Joker, like that Joker. Okay, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The horrible one, then the one like.
But like I felt that DC should have just stuck with their their TV series because they were doing really well. The Arrowverse, the Flash universe, all those crossovers, Supergirl, etc. Right? They were doing really well, and they just could not compete with Marvel because Kevin Feige had a real vision and real story arc, right? And every TV series that Marvel has come up with has been kind of sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with me?
Yeah, but
From
Luke Cage season 1 was good on Netflix, but season 2 was
but I have to argue that if DC ever tend to make a movie arc like the Infinity Saga, right? They have so much more better story arcs that would trump Infinity Saga like way out. Imagine like the Crisis of 2 Earth or so many more that they can use, like the one where Superman was tricked into killing his wife and then he killed Joker. So that DC has like, sorry?
Is that Injustice?
Yeah, that's Injustice, the Injustice story. So DC has much more like better stories compared to Marvel, but only if they had the patience, because Warner Brother was trying to be greedy and trying to chase Marvel. So that was their downfall lah. But
there could be another issue, right? On what you just said, DC is a lot darker. I know the whole Snyder tries to make it so dark and edgy that you can't see a single shit in the movie. But if it's so dark, you're going to have a lot of ratings go up. You're going to lose a lot of audience. Marvel is just nice. You can pander. Yeah, I believe all the movie ratings fits PG-13.
As a storyteller, you want to be able to connect with the people that you're watching, with the stories that they have. You want to be able to relate to the struggles that they're having. So, with like Iron Man or Hulk or whatever, we may not understand what it's like to be a multi-billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, whatever, or have a green anger monster inside all of us, right? We may not understand any of that. But the problems that they face from day to day is something that we identify with.
It's very human.
Yes, exactly. It's about humanity, and that is something I feel that DC Comics has lacked.
yeah. So I read one of the stories of how Marvel actually created all these characters like Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, and all that. So they were given like they put in like a humanity box, a humanity bowl, where they write stuff and like ideas and they put it in there. So every time like they want to come up with new characters, they have to pick one from the bowl to see what their attitude is like. So when they pick Tony Stark, the people say that he has to be a good person, but also a bit of an asshole enough, so that people might be conflicted to hate him or love him. That is Tony Stark's character. So when they were drawing Steve Rogers, they took out his paper that someone who never change his ideals or anything. So that is one thing I like about the Marvel comics when they started doing that. But I think in terms of comics, I would prefer DC more. Tash, you're a bit quiet on this. I mean, do you have anything to add?
Nah, I honestly, I'm not really familiar with Star Wars. I'm more of like a Marvel person, and I'm a person who just watches the movie because like my friends drag me.